First at 4, we now know the names of the 2 people who died in the plane crash yesterday near the city of Lowell.
News 8's Megan Bunchman is outside the crash site, and she joins us now with the latest.
We're standing outside of Whistle Stop Storage, just north of the city of Lowell, or near the city of Lowell, that is. And you can see that police tape. Sheriff deputies putting that police tape up earlier in the day to basically carton off this area. And private security is on site following yesterday's crash. Earlier today, both Fire and Kent County Sheriff's Office were back on scene, protecting the integrity of the site for the National Transportation Safety Board. Those officials weren't able to make it out today. We're told that they will be on scene tomorrow. What we do know now is that the names of the men who sadly died in the fiery crash, it was 62-year-old Kevin Lawrence of Presqu'île and 68-year-old Paul Schulk of Rogers City. They were in a personal plane when it went down shortly after 4:30 Monday, less than a mile from Lowell's airport. Now, fire departments from 12 surrounding areas, and then of course the city of Lowell, responded quickly to the call. This is what Fire Chief Corey Velzen had to say.
Obviously, the biggest concerns is casualties. You know, are we talking injuries? What do we have to do to get passengers out, survivability, those types of things. And of course, the hazmat incidents that go with them as well, and all the chemicals that are on board, and the unusual nature of how the planes are designed. It's not something we train for every day.
Coming up on News 8 at 5 o'clock, we're hearing from one of the renters whose unit was directly impacted with that crash yesterday. Stay with us. Live in Lowell, I'm Megan Bunchman, News 8.
Whenever there's a crash like this, there are more questions than answers in the early phases looking into why it happened.
We talked with an aviation expert who has been with the FAA as well as the Director of Airfield Operations, Ron Basman, about what safety measures general aviation pilots and planes are required to go through and what investigators may be looking for as their examination into this crash continues. I know that you're an observer and an expert in this field. You've looked at it for a long time. And one of the things that always occurs to me is when there is an accident with loss of life in an airplane, whether it's a general aviation small airplane like we saw yesterday, or even the tragedies of airliners, it obviously makes a lot of news, but it is well to remember it's still a safe form of travel, but you have to manage the risk, right? Particularly when you're talking about small planes. What does that look like for a pilot? And we have many watching who are well aware of these rules, but just in general, how do you manage the risk and make sure you get home safely?
So in a small aircraft, there's a lot less regulatory paperwork and mandatory requirements than, of course, there is with an airliner. However, you know, as a pilot of a small aircraft, first of all, they're required by federal aviation regulation to make sure that they have accumulated enough information to make a safe flight. When I say accumulated, I mean that they have briefed themselves on the weather. They briefed themselves on things happening at the departure airport, at the arrival airport, their route of flight, if there's anything happening in the airspace. And so there's a number of checklist items that they can either do via a verbal briefing by what we call the flight service people, or that they pick up all of this information via the internet. And there's several sources that go on with that. So that's the first basic mandatory requirement. And then, of course, you always have, you know, the certification to be a pilot, to make sure that you are fulfilling all those yearly requirements to be a pilot. And then it carries over that you also have to fulfill all of these risk management requirements to actually, for the plane itself. That the plane itself has to undergo certain annual maintenance, that there is only certified parts, that all parts, as they're exchanged for problems here and there, are basically tracked, what we call cradle to grave. And that means that, you know, we're, from the moment they're manufactured, that they maintain a standard from the manufacturer all the way to the time that for some reason they're taken out of the plane, that they're always tracked. So there's a number of risk mitigating factors that always go into each flight. And if a pilot is is complying with all the requirements and everything, most certainly it should, the normal outcome is a safe flight to get them from their departure point to their destination.
We're not going to make any speculation about this. The NTSB and the FAA will ultimately tell us what caused this airplane to crash, but we do know that if you follow all the things you just outlined, there are still some variables out there, like some type of catastrophic failure, which I guess can happen. Weather would not appear, although I make no judgment that was going on. But what is it you look for when you see a crash of this type?
Well, I saw the preliminary video, and most certainly it did not appear to be severe weather involved, and that's typically the very first thing that we look at. And then, of course, the next thing typically is, some type of mechanical failure. And then as we continue down the way, if we're not finding anything there, something procedural. And then we also look at the skills of the pilot and the procedures that were followed in the cockpit to make sure that they were following the necessary protocols for a safe flight.
As with all such air incidents, the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration are conducting the investigations.